Welcome back to Ancient Asian Legends. I'm your host, Meili Soon. Join us as we explore timeless tales rooted in Asian literature. Today, we embark on the epic quest of the river monk, Xuanzang, through Journey to the West, a classic masterpiece by Wu Chengyan dating back to 1592. Without further ado, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 24. Xuanzang's Call to the West. Previously on Ancient Asian Legends, the river monk, Xuanzang, was selected by Emperor Taizong to organize a grand Buddhist ceremony to help lost souls. Xuanzang gathered 1,200 monks and prepared everything meticulously. The ceremony was set for the 3rd day of the 9th month to last for 49 days. Meanwhile, in the vast expanse of the South China Sea, atop the misty peak of Mount Putuo, the Bodhisattva Guanyin had been entrusted with a sacred task by Buddha himself. She was to scour the mortal realm for a worthy soul, one capable of undertaking the perilous journey to the West to retrieve the Holy Scriptures. For many moons, Guanyin's search had proven fruitless, until whispers of Emperor Taizong's Buddhist fervor reached her divine ears. Word spread of a grand assembly in Chang'an, where the emperor was promoting the teachings of Buddha and gathering learned monks from across the land. Guanyin's heart leaped with joy when she discovered that the chief monk presiding over this gathering was none other than the river monk, the reincarnation of Golden Cicada, a soul she had guided in its past life. With celestial wisdom, Guanyin devised a plan. She would descend to the mortal realm, bearing sacred treasures to test the worthiness of those who might undertake the westward journey. Disguising herself as a leprous monk, her divine beauty hidden beneath a veil of mortal ailments, she took to the bustling streets of Chang'an. In her gnarled hands, she carried a kasaya robe that shimmered with otherworldly light and a 9-ringed staff that hummed with mystic energy. As she shuffled through the crowded marketplace, she called out in a voice that belied her frail appearance.
"Sacred treasures for sale. A kasaya robe and a 9-ringed staff blessed by the Buddha himself."
Some foolish monks, their eyes unable to perceive the true value of the items, scoffed at the prices Guanyin quoted.
5,000 taels for a robe and 2,000 for a staff? You must be mad, old monk.
Guanyin, her heart filled with compassion even for these misguided souls, simply smiled and moved on. Her divine purpose would not be swayed by mortal short-sightedness. As fate would have it, she soon crossed paths with Minister Xiao Yu, a man of discerning taste and open mind. His eyes were immediately drawn to the radiant glow emanating from the kasaya robe. Xiao Yu inquired,
"Venerable monk, what makes this robe so extraordinarily valuable?"
"Kind sir, this robe possesses both virtues and flaws, and its price can be both great and nothing at all."
"Please enlighten me. What do you mean by this?"
"For those who respect the 3 treasures of Buddhism and follow the path of righteousness, this robe offers protection from all earthly perils. But for those who cling to worldly desires and scorn the teachings of Buddha, it remains forever out of reach. To the worthy, I would gladly give it freely, while from the unworthy, no price would be enough."
Xiao Yu, deeply impressed by the monk's words, knew at once that this was no ordinary peddler. Without hesitation, he brought Guanyin before Emperor Taizong himself. The emperor, seated upon his golden throne, gazed down at the leprous monk with curiosity.
"What brings you to our imperial presence?"
Guanyin bowed low, her mortal disguise masking her divine grace.
"Your Majesty, I bring before you treasures of immense spiritual significance."
"Tell us, what makes these items so valuable?"
O Emperor, this robe is woven from the silk of ice worms and stitched by the nimble fingers of celestial maidens. Dragons wearing but a thread of it escape the great bird's beak. Cranes adorned with a mere wisp ascend to sainthood. Wherever it rests, thousands of spirits bow in reverence. Whoever wears it walks with 7 Buddhas as companions.
And what of the 9-ringed staff?
9 rings of cosmic power forged in heavenly fire, granting youth eternal to those who aspire. Through celestial gates it guides the way, breaking earthly bonds, leading souls astray. Untainted by worldly dust, pure and bright, it joyfully accompanies holy monks to heavenly height.
We shall acquire these treasures for the virtuous monk Xuanzang, whose dedication to the Buddha's teachings has impressed us greatly.
Your Majesty, if this Xuanzang is truly virtuous, I would gladly bestow these treasures upon him without cost. For it is my vow to give freely to those who respect the 3 treasures of Buddhism and walk the path of righteousness.
The emperor, not wanting to appear greedy or disrespectful, insisted on offering payment. But Guanyin stood firm, explaining her sacred vow with unwavering resolve. Impressed by the monk's sincerity and wisdom, Emperor Taizong arranged for Xuanzang to be summoned to the palace. When the virtuous monk arrived, he was presented with the kasaya robe and the 9-ringed staff. As Xuanzang donned the radiant robe and grasped the mystic staff, a collective gasp of awe rippled through the court. The emperor, his ministers, and all present agreed that Xuanzang now truly embodied the image of Buddha's disciple. To celebrate this auspicious occasion, Emperor Taizong decreed that Xuanzang should parade through the streets of Chang'an, allowing the common people to witness this living embodiment of Buddhist virtue. As Xuanzang made his way through the bustling thoroughfares, crowds gathered to marvel at his transformed appearance. Children pointed in wonder, elders bowed in respect, and voices rose in admiration.
Look at that wonderful monk. He's like a living arhat descended from the heavens.
Surely this must be a Bodhisattva walking among us.
The city buzzed with excitement, and news of the miraculous monk spread like wildfire. 7 days later, as the Grand Buddhist Assembly reached its peak, Guanyin once again disguised herself, this time mingling with the crowd of devotees. As Xuanzang expounded upon the scriptures, Guanyin saw an opportunity to test him further. In a voice that carried above the murmur of the crowd, she called out,
Venerable monk, you speak well of the lesser vehicle, but do you know of the greater vehicle of Buddha's teachings?
Xuanzang, his eyes alight with the thirst for knowledge, stepped down from his podium.
Forgive me, wise one, but I am not familiar with this greater vehicle. Please enlighten me and all those gathered here.
The greater vehicle, young monk, holds power beyond your current understanding. It can guide the souls of the dead to ascend to the heavens, free the living from the chains of suffering, and even grant the gift of immortality to those deemed worthy.
Emperor Taizong, overhearing this exchange, stepped forward, his royal robes rustling with each movement.
Tell us, learned one, where can one find these profound teachings?
These sacred scriptures reside in the great Thunderclap Monastery in India, where Buddha himself dwells. It is a journey of 108,000 li, or 34,000 miles, fraught with peril and hardship.
As these words echoed through the assembly hall, Guanyin decided the time had come to reveal her true form. In a blinding flash of light, she cast aside her mortal disguise and appeared in all her divine glory, floating amidst clouds of radiant color. The crowd fell to their knees in awe and reverence, their voices joining in a thunderous chant.
Hail, Guanyin Bodhisattva! Blessed are we to be in your presence.
Before vanishing back to her celestial abode, Guanyin left behind a final message, her voice echoing with both challenge and promise.
To the west lie scriptures of power untold, a journey of spirit for the pure and bold. Who among you will answer this sacred call, to bring enlightenment back for one and all?
As the radiant light of Guanyin's presence faded, a hush fell over the assembly. Then, from amidst the stunned crowd, Xuanzang stepped forward, his voice firm with resolve.
I, humble Xuanzang, vow to undertake this sacred quest. I shall journey to the west and return with the holy scriptures, no matter the cost.
Emperor Taizong, deeply moved by Xuanzang's courage and devotion, descended from his throne and approached the monk. In a voice filled with emotion, he declared,
"From this day forward, you shall be as a brother to us. We bestow upon you the title of royal sibling and pledge the full support of our empire for your holy mission."
In the days that followed, preparations were made for Xuanzang's momentous journey. The emperor provided him with official documents bearing the imperial seal, a golden alms bowl for seeking provisions along the way, and other supplies necessary for the long trek ahead. On the day of departure, as Xuanzang prepared to set out from the city gates, Emperor Taizong himself came to bid him farewell. The emperor offered Xuanzang a final cup of wine, a customary gesture of good fortune for travelers. As Xuanzang raised the cup to his lips, the emperor suddenly reached down and pinched a small amount of dirt from the ground, sprinkling it into the wine. Seeing Xuanzang's puzzled expression, Emperor Taizong smiled wisely and said,
"Remember always, dear brother, that a pinch of soil from your homeland is worth more than all the gold in foreign lands. Let this be a reminder of the people and the land you serve on this sacred quest."
Xuanzang, understanding the profound meaning behind the emperor's gesture, bowed deeply and drank the wine, dirt and all. With a heart full of determination and the blessings of both heaven and earth, he set forth on his epic journey to the west, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in his quest for the Holy Scriptures. As Xuanzang's figure disappeared into the distance, Emperor Taizong and the assembled crowd watched in solemn silence. They couldn't help but wonder, what perils awaited this brave monk on his westward journey? Would his newfound treasures and imperial blessings be enough to overcome the trials ahead? Only time would tell if Xuanzang's unwavering faith would guide him to his destiny. Tune in next week as our hero takes his first steps into the unknown. Today's episode was adapted and edited by Mei Li Soon, featuring original music by Background Music Lab, Samuel F. Johans, and Studio Columna. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube by searching Ancient Asian Legends to receive episode highlights and ancient Asian proverbs. What's going to happen on Xuanzang's journey to the West? When will he meet our very own Monkey King? Find out next week on Ancient Asian Legends. Until then, take care and stay enchanted.